we exist in order to give the impression of freedom of speech in America and open people's eyes to, the realities that were outside. I've always been hurt or angry about the fact that we commodify animals. Some scientists are even saying that most animals are the same as us with consciousness, and I certainly look at my dogs and my cats and
they have personalities.
Absolutely, way beyond. Sometimes they have senses that are way beyond what I see, and I think our perceptions are different. And I think that, for better or for worse, we're all here together. And animals are proving to be the canaries in the coal mine of so many things.
Exactly. Yeah, the voiceless creatures. I mean, they can't speak out.
Started out as being the idea of life through a dog's eyes, seeing all these injustices and seeing things that it couldn't talk about, and all it could do was really bark.
How do you feel now to see animal rights activists actually looked at as terrorists in the Animal Enterprise Terrorism Act?
Horrified.
How do you feel now to see animal rights activists actually looked at as terrorists in the Animal Enterprise Terrorism Act? How do you feel now to see animal rights activists actually looked at as terrorists in the Animal Enterprise Terrorism Act?
Yeah, there was a research experiment that was using sudden impact head injuries, and they were using chimpanzees that they'd lock into a chair with a head restraint and locked right in. It was this horrible machine, and they did this simulate these sudden impact head injuries. And to me, I was going, there's such a false sense to that, because the animal, if you or I experienced a sudden impact head injury, we wouldn't be aware of it coming. Animals were completely aware. This guy actually was arrested and jailed after Aveh and exposed to all of this, so I can see the need for all this stuff.
Unlike other environmental laws, the Clean Water Act, Clean Air Act, the Endangered Species Act, which allow individuals, as long as you have standing, to go into federal court and bring a lawsuit on behalf of an animal that's being harmed as a result of illegal activity. The Animal Welfare Act has no citizen suit provision. The only entity that can enforce the Animal Welfare Act is the U.S. Department of Agriculture. That's the only entity that has any authority to bring anyone in compliance with the Animal Welfare Act. And the problem over years has been that the U.S. Department of Agriculture does not show that it cares about enforcing the statute to protect animals. And I think that this agency tends to see itself, its role really as assisting, helping out the entities that it regulates, as opposed to really doing anything to protect animals.